Kia ora te whānau. Today we'll be talking about Māori alphabet. It is fairly easy, so let's just get started. Zoom out a little bit. Alright. Now, in Te Reo Māori, there are 5 vowel sounds. A, E, I, O, and U. Each vowel has a variation when you add a line on top of them. It is called a macron, and that sound becomes elongated, meaning that it makes it longer. So instead of A, E, I, O, U, when you add macrons, the lines on top of the vowels, the sounds become A, E, I, O, and U. Next, we have 8 consonants. Only 8. H, K, M, N, P, R, T, W. The only sound that does not exist in English is this sound. I'll make a separate video on this, the R or the R sound. It can get really tricky, especially if you can't roll your R. Lastly, we have 2 digraph sounds, N and F. N as in singer, singer, that N sound at the back of the throat. Now, it is not the N sound in finger, because in Te Reo Māori, you don't pronounce the G sound here. So it's at the back of the throat. N, N, N. Next is F sound. Now, just treat it as the F sound in English. It's technically not the same, but it's very close enough, so just leave it at that. So in total, there are 15 different sounds in Māori alphabet. However, I want you to actually add this. Vowels with macrons as part of the alphabet, because as you learn Te Reo Māori, vowels without the macrons and vowels with macrons, they're completely different. They need to be treated separately. Therefore, there are 20 different sounds in Māori alphabet. Alright, let's do some practice. I have 9 kai related words, as kai as in food. So first up we have kai, kai. If you find it difficult to pronounce, find the consonant and the vowel. So k, a, ka. And you have the I sound, ka, I. Say it together without a break, kai. Next we have ka and fe, ka, fe. Say it without breaking, kafe. To, te, tote. Pa, na, na, panana. Next up we have macrons. So the first U and the A sounds have macrons on them, so you want to elongate those vowel sounds. So they become poo and ha, poo, ha. Say it together, poo, ha. Next we have another macron, so you want to elongate the O sound. To, ma, to, tomato. Next up we have ka, I, mo, a, na. Now, this is actually a compound word, because kai is food, moana is sea. So kai moana means seafood. Kai moana, kai moana. Next we have tsihi, tsihi. Remember, there's a macron on the first I sound, hence why you elongate it. Lastly, we have heki, heki. I hope you're with me. Still? Now, here are some key points from this lesson. Some haven't been mentioned, but it's all right. So first up, we have here. There are 20 letters in Māori alphabet. So when you think about it, it is fairly easy to learn Te Reo Māori if you think about the numbers. Next, all sounds exist in English except R. As I said, I'll be making a separate video to this because it can get a little bit tricky. But literally every other sounds in Te Reo Māori exist in English. So you don't have much excuse not to be able to pronounce it correctly. Third, the sounds do not change wherever they are in Te Reo Māori. Now, when I was learning English, what I found is that the vowel sounds change all the time depending on where they are in a word and or the combination of letters. They change all the time and it really used to frustrate me. However, in Te Reo Māori, the sounds do not change. So once you've mastered all the sounds, you can read literally every single word in Te Reo Māori. So that's an awesome thing about this language. Fourth, Māori does not equal English, especially when it comes to reading. Now, I'm going to demonstrate it in the next lot, but a lot of people get this wrong because in their brain, they think they're reading English, so they're trying to read it as English when they're supposed to be reading in Te Reo Māori. And lastly, Māori words always end with a vowel. It will always end with a, e, I, o, u, or a, e, I, o, u, and none of the consonants and none of the digraphs. Okay? All right, now you learned all this. What you gonna do? Now, these are the steps I've taken to actually try to improve my te reo, especially the pronunciation. First, read out loud signs in public. In Aotearoa, we are fortunate enough to have a lot of the road signs in Te Reo Māori. So just read it out loud, and that is the easiest thing you can do. Second, break down longer words. Some of the words can be quite long, it might be daunting, but just break it down with sounds. So I have an example here, Tāmaki Makaurau, which is Auckland in Te Reo Māori. So you have tā, ma, ki, ma, ka, u, ra, u. Now, when you have two vowels together, like a and u, try to say it fast. Au, au. So at the start we have tāmaki, tāmaki. And the second word is makaurau, makaurau. Say it together, makaurau. Say it all together, tāmaki makaurau. And lastly, train your brain to read in Māori. This is difficult, especially if you haven't learned any other language than English. For example, in my course, a lot of the students read this word as kiki, kiki, because in their brain, they registered these as E. Hence why they're trying to say kiki instead of the actual vowels in Te Reo Māori, which never change, keke. And here's another example. When they see this word, they say taio, taio. Remember, you're reading Te Reo Māori. So this sound is not I, but I. So the word is pronounced tio, tio. I hope you learned something today. Kia kaha Te Reo Māori, Karawhiua, give it a go, and ka kite anō.